There's a lot to talk about for this mid-season patch for Overwatch 2. We have the Year of the Snake seasonal event, we have Valentines Day 2025, the new 6v6 mode, minimum 1 max 3, which I'm most excited about. We have the Overwatch classic Moth meta, Ashe's new mythic weapon skin, we have competitive drives, new competitive rewards, and of course, the 5v5 hero updates, including some hazard nerfs, which were very necessary. So let's get into it first. Okay, when I said nerfs a second ago, I actually meant a singular nerf for hazard. The violent leap cooldown has been increased from 5 to 6 seconds. The devs comment that we're finding our newest tank's mobility to be a little too hazardous. By decreasing violent leap's cooldown, hazard will have to be more selective with how he dives into the opponent's backlines. And I'm gonna keep it a buck, I don't think this is enough. I think hazard is absolutely destroying the tank role in a way that has not been seen before. I mean, look at the leaderboard. Most played hazard like every single page. It's absolutely crazy. They need to nerf him a little bit more. For RAMATTRA, his base armor is going to be increased from 75 to 100. The devs comment that RAMATTRA has been underperforming relative to other Brawl tanks. Adding a small increase to his armor will provide a necessary boost without altering his core gameplay. For Winston, the Tesla cannon ammo is going to be increased from 100 to 120, wow. And the secondary fire max charge damage is going to be increased from 50 to 60. Primal Rage's cost, however, will be increased by 12%, so that will be coming up less frequently. The devs comment that Winston's dive potential has been impacted by the increased health pools of enemies. By boosting the damage of the Tesla cannon secondary fire and providing more ammo, this will allow Winston to follow up and finish off enemies without needing to reload as often. I mean, the Primal Rage alt cost is in accordance to the buff in terms of the ammo and the secondary fire output, which means Winston will be doing more damage and the Primal Rage will be scaled accordingly because more damage equals more alt charge. So his neutral got a little bit better and the time to build ultimate should be relatively the same as pre-patch. So these are pretty minor Winston buffs. For the damage heroes, we have Echo. Her focusing beams damage per second on targets above 50% HP is going to be increased from 50 to 75. The devs comment that Echo has been slightly underperforming recently. Wow. So we're increasing the base damage of the focusing beam. This change will make it easier to push enemies into the critical health threshold. Now we should also double check what the damage is when the enemies are below 50% HP relative to the scale. And it looks like nothing has changed. It's still 350 damage over time. For Tracer, her pulse pistol spread is going to be decreased by 15%. The devs comment that Tracer has remained less threatening since the damage reduction to her pulse pistols. Reducing their spread will make her damage more consistent at slightly longer ranges. For Ana, the biotic grenade explosion damage and healing is going to be decreased from 90 to 75. The devs comment that recent changes to her rifle have made Ana a highly impactful support. Reducing the damage of her bio nade will adjust some of her breakpoints and slightly affect her self-sustainability. For ILLARI, the solar rifle secondary fire, maximum resources increased from 3 to 3.5 seconds. The devs comment that ILLARI can struggle to heal allies without her healing pylon. Increasing the maximum resource of her secondary fire will allow her to support her team more effectively during those moments. Finally, for JUNO, the orbital ray duration is going to be reduced from 10 to 8 seconds. Damage amplification is also going to be reduced from 35% to 30%. Wow. The devs comment that JUNO's ultimate remains too powerful when used effectively by her allies. So reducing both the duration and damage amplification will reduce the potency of her ultimate. Let's look at the other things in this patch. We have the Year of the Snake seasonal event, where the Lunar New Year, the Year of the Snake, we have the return of Magic and Mischief, which is the prop hunt game. Valentine's Day, we have the Love of Geometry game mode, which is a deathmatch brawl, which puts 2 teams of 4 Cupid Hanzos against each other. Now for the 6v6 experimental minimum 1 max 3, this is going to be the big highlight of the patch here. Step back into Overwatch's origins with a more fresh twist on the beloved 6v6 format. Minimum 1 max 3 is a unique experiment that blends nostalgia with modern gameplay dynamics, offering a structured composition alongside the flexibility to switch roles mid-match. Your participation in this experiment will help shape the future of Overwatch 2's gameplay, so don't miss this chance to leave your mark. So give feedback is what they're saying. Overwatch Classic Moth meta is back, similar to the classic like 2016 patch that we played like a month and a half ago. Moth meta brings you back to one of the most iconic chaotic chapters of history, where Mercy's legendary Moth quote-unquote gameplay takes the spotlight, and heroes like DPS Doom and Symmetra with their shield generator make a triumphant return to the battlefield. Oh, we're in this patch. The balance is adjusted for September 2017. That's where it is. And finally, for competitive drives, the new drive signatures are available to earn from February 11th to February 16th, a 5-day period. Players can now earn up to 6,000 competitive points by completing competitive drive stages, enough to unlock 2 Jade or 2 Golden Weapon variants with their points. And as the 2024 competitive year concludes, Season 14 is your last chance to redeem competitive points for Jade weapon variants. After Season 14, so after the season, any accumulated competitive points will be converted to Legacy points, which can be redeemed for Golden weapon variants. Jade weapon variants will no longer be available to collect starting in Season 15, so starting next season, because this will be your last season to get them. Wait, which is interesting, because I thought this is going to become a Legacy variant while the new one takes place next season, so, huh? Why are we, like, limiting people from buying? I don't get this. Anyways, that's it for the patch. What do you guys think?